Hello everybody, I'm the voice of reason and welcome to my channel. I will be reviewing today. This is a season 4 mid-fall finale. How is everybody doing today? Yeah, girl is ready. So before I get started, like, leave me a comment on what did you think about this episode, and subscribe to my channel and let's become family. Now, like I said, this is season 4, episode 9, the fall finale. I know you like, girl, I looked on your channel and you ain't got no other episodes but this one. I finally caught it. I'm a mother of 5. I ain't got time to be sitting up here watching every episode. I'm lucky to even catch this one. So, let's get into it. We're going to start with get Kate out the way. Kate and her husband out the way. So, Kate and her husband are feeding their son, and he's eating avocados, and the dad's all excited, and he's singing a song, and he's videotaping his baby while he eats the avocados, and Kate's just looking at him with love, like, oh my gosh, look at my husband and my son. I wanted this forever. Just look at them. And she's just in awe. But what she didn't say, look, they get on the plane, and they were talking, and she finally admitted to him, and she was like, you know what, babe, he's been eating avocados. And he was kind of hurt because he's like, hold up. So you just had me looking like a fool videotaping something that he done already did. So y'all, if y'all are wives, if y'all are mothers, y'all know that, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom like me, stuff happens all the time. My husband misses everything. No, it ain't everything, but he misses the majority of the stuff. And I let him think that he done seen it for the first time. I don't want to take that joy away from my husband seeing our kids walk for the first time or say their first word or whatever. So I just let him have it. I'm not gonna be like, boo, he been saying that for 3 weeks. I just let him have it. Enjoy your moment, baby. So when they get to the house, they're like really, you know, iffy with each other. You know, he's over there talking about CrossFit and losing 5 pounds, and she's looking at him like, nobody care about none of that. Who cares? That's how she's looking at him. So Beth looks at her and she's like, girl, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm okay. Are you okay? And she was like, yeah, I'm okay. And so they was like, they went outside and they started talking to each other. So Kate admits to Beth that she doesn't like going to CrossFit with her husband, and because she didn't want to mess with a fat guy. She said that she didn't want to marry a fat guy because she wasn't always going to be fat. So they broke up. She said they broke up a long time ago, and then they wound up getting back together, and they wound up wanting to, get fit together. So they started working out together, and then she wound up getting pregnant. But then after she had the baby, she was like, she wasn't losing any weight, but he was. So she was just a little jealous, and she was like, the baby got special needs, and I'm like moving around. It's just stressful. She's stressed out. So sometimes when you stress, you do lose weight. Sometimes when you stress, you eat. So she may be eating. So Beth was like, girl, you need to talk to your husband. She was like, if you can't talk to your husband about something that y'all going through, that's a problem. So she goes inside and she sits down by her husband and she's like, babe. And he's like, yeah, honey. And she was just like looking at how in awe he was at his son. So she was like, never mind, you know what, I ain't even gonna say I'm not even gonna say nothing to you about it. And she was just like, happy Thanksgiving. And he said happy Thanksgiving and he gave her a kiss. Okay, so now we're gonna move to Kevin. So Kevin is at his Uncle Nick's house. And when the episode began, it showed Nick and Jack at home when they were kids in the basement, and like it was a bunch of ruckus going on upstairs, and then it moved on to Nick and Jack as adults and just ditching being at Thanksgiving with the family. Jack put the pie on the porch, rang the doorbell and ran off, and Nick ran with him. They wound up going to the bar and watching the game, and Nick wound up telling Jack that he done got into some debt or something with gambling or betting or something. Who knows, doing something that he ain't had no business. So then it comes to the current day, and Kevin's like, well, we're just going to go over Randall's house and, eat with the rest of the family. I want you to meet your nieces and nephews because Jack and Nick had got into it a long time ago to where he's never met his, nieces and nephews. So they go to Randall's house. Randall's about to leave out the door to go take his youngest daughter somewhere. I can't remember where he was taking her to. Can't remember her name. But he wound up wanting to take her to wherever they were going. And Nick was like, well, let me ride with you. You're my new nephew. I want to get to know you. Let me ride with you. So he goes and rides with Randall. And Nick is looking for his mom. Kevin, I'm sorry. Kevin is looking for his mom. So we're going to go on to Rebecca. Because I really don't want to make this no longer with you. So we're going to go on to Rebecca. Rebecca is, as y'all know, she's having memory loss. Something's going on with her, and she's not quite sure what's going on with her. So you got Randall following her around the house and messing with her and just irritating her, and them two done got into it the night before anyways. So she was trying to make some tea or something, and she turned the stove on, and then she walked away to go get the tea bags. And Randall was like, clicking off the stuff. She's like, Randall, I'm trying to make me some tea, honey. You can't keep following me around, turning stuff off. So Randall's like, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry about what happened last night. She was like, we're not going to talk about last night. Today's Thanksgiving. Let's just, feel me? She ain't saying you feel me. I'm saying you feel me because I'm about to skip over our part in a minute anyways. So she was like, let's just keep this going. I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to go to the bakery and get something. And he was like, okay, Mom. You need a ride? No. She going to go. So like I told you, Randall done went with his uncle. His mom went walking. So Rebecca's outside walking. She sees this black guy, and she's like, oh my gosh, that looks like William. If y'all don't know who William is Randall's biological father. So she runs up on him, and she's like, hey, William. And then he's looking at her like, who? And she's like, oh, you don't know me. And she's like, looking at him like, I'm sorry. I thought you were somebody else. But since I got your attention, can you show me where the bakery is? And he's like, oh, yeah, the bakery's down the street somewhere. Over that way. And she's like, oh, thank you. So then she goes to the bakery and she walks in. Well, she goes to the grocery store. She walks in and she gets caught, her attention is caught on some flowers. So she's looking at the flowers and some beautiful orange roses. And she picks them up, but she's looking at the bakery, but she's looking at the flowers. So she's looking at the bakery and she's looking at the flowers. She picks up the flowers and she walks off and she goes and she walks out and goes to the cashier, and she is buying the flowers. And as she's buying the flowers, um, she the lady, I'm trying to remember, the lady at the cash register, she's like, oh, Rebecca's like, I haven't ate today, I'm so hungry. And the lady at the cash register was like, oh, well, there's a Chinese restaurant down the street. So Rebecca's like, oh my gosh, it sounds so good. I'll go eat, some Chinese food. So she was like, okay. So Rebecca goes and walks to go to the Chinese restaurant. And I'm going to stop right there on that. She goes into the Chinese restaurant, she eats her food, and then she's like having an episode. So we're going to put a pin on that. Then I'm going to move to Tess. Tess is upstairs in her room, and on Instagram, there's a meme going around saying, like, who's your celebrity crush? So she's debating, like, is my celebrity crush, do I want to really put on here who my celebrity crush is? Because she came out to her family, but she hasn't came out to her peers. So her uncle, Kevin, comes in the room, and he sits down in the bed, and he's like, hey, Tess, what's the tessellation or something like that? And she was just like, well, my celebrity crush. And she was like, I want to tell everybody that my celebrity crush is Zendaya, but I don't want nobody to judge me. So he's like, okay, well, look, let's get out the house. And so he takes her to a fast food restaurant, and they're going through the drive-thru, and he said, come out to the intercom. She was like, what? You want me to come out to somebody I don't even know? And he was like, yeah, come out to the intercom. So, so the guy's like, hey, welcome to da-da-da. May I take your order? And he was like, yeah, can I get a number 4 with a milkshake? And he was like, whatever y'all. And then he looked at Tess, and Tess said, hey, my name is Tess, and I'm gay. And the guy was like, okay, good for you. Do you want some fries or onion rings with that? And she was just like so excited, and she gave him a 5, and she's like, oh my gosh. So then they go back to the house, and Tess is back upstairs, and she's on her phone, so she finally posts that her crushing Zendaya, and then she comes downstairs, and she shows her uncle with excitement, and then she shows her dad. He's like, this is a big moment. She's like, yeah, everybody's hit my phone up, my line is going off right now. I'm about to go. Like, let me go, do this. So she goes and mess with her phone. So basically, she came out to Paris. Okay, we're gonna go to Deja now. We're gonna mix Deja and Beth together. So Beth is talking to Randall, and she's telling Randall like, babe, I want you to hurry up and come back, because when Shonda comes, which is Deja's mom, biological mother, because Deja is their adopted daughter. So she's like, so when she get here, I won't be here just by myself. And he was like, oh, okay. So like I told you, I Randall went off with Nick. And I don't even know if I finished Randall. I'll go back. But anyways, so Beth is talking to her sister. So her and her sister go outside and they're talking. And Beth is like, I'm not happy that no, I'm sorry. Shonda gets there and she sees Shonda. Deja's all happy. She's with her mom. They got inside jokes. They were looking at old videos, and Beth and Kate go outside. So Beth and Kate are outside and they're talking, and she's like, "Oh well." Beth said, "I'm not happy that Shonda's doing well." And Kate was like, "Oh my gosh, that's not good. Like, why would you not be happy?" She's like, "I was, praying all night, and I was praying for Shonda all night that she would be here and that she would be good." And she's like, now that she's here, I don't know how to feel about that, because right now Beth is feeling like, okay, Randall's her father and Deja already has a mother, so who am I to Deja? Who can I be to Deja? What's funny to me is while they all downstairs worried about Deja, they daughter's upstairs going through her own little personal storm, and they wasn't even worried about Tess and what Tess had going on. But anyway, so Beth goes back in the house or whatever, and Deja's talking to her mom on the couch, and they laughing, and Deja's like, oh, Mom, when did you start to like football? She's like, girl, I've been liking football, every Sunday after work, me and a couple of my friends, we go to the bar and we watch the game. I bleed blue and green, or green and yellow, or whatever color it was. And Deja sat up, and she was like, oh, that sounds nice. And then she went upstairs. So Beth follows her upstairs, and she's like, baby, what's wrong? And when I tell y'all, this little girl can act her butt off. Okay. So she's on the bed crying. She's holding a pillow crying. And Beth's like, okay, well, what's wrong? And Deja was like, my mom is really doing good. She got a good job. She got a house. She's doing good. Everything is good. And Beth was like, yeah, everything is good. She's doing good. And she's like, but why couldn't she do any of this for me? When I tell y'all I lost it. My baby sleep. That's what I'm trying not to like, because I want to be. When I tell y'all I lost it, okay? I lost it. Like, I was in tears. I felt Deja in that moment. Like, baby, your mama couldn't get better for you. She's not you. I wanted to like hug her and say, she cannot get better for you. She has to get better for herself. Because if she tries to get better for you, she's going to constantly go back into the world and do what she was doing. But if she gets better for herself and hold herself accountable, I lost it. Tears running down my eyes. Beth hugged her for me. Beth went and she hugged her, and she was like, I'm trying to remember what she said. I think Beth said something like, Beth was like, tell me the story about you know what you and your mom was watching. And she was like, oh yeah, there was this lady that lived on the bottom of us, and she used to hate my mom making noise. So one day she said something to my mom about how she was a bad mom and how she had all these men coming in and out of her house. So what my mom did is she turned Keep It Shuffle up real loud, and she taught me to Keep It Shuffle that day, and we stomped so loud, and we played the music so loud. And then Beth was like, well honey, don't let what she's going through now deter from you, from the perfect moments that y'all had back then. And they hugged each other and they moved on. So now we're going to Randall. Randall and Nick is in the car. That's his uncle. They drive the youngest daughter. I cannot remember her name, but she's so cute. They drive the youngest daughter to this guy's house. They go and they get this box, and the box has a bunch of Jack's old stuff in it. So they're on the road, and Randall puts in this tape, and him and his uncle's talking, and he was like, you know, this was my dad's favorite song. So as Randall's talking to him about the song, Nick is thinking back about when him and his brother had first heard this song. So Nick liked the song. Jack didn't like the song. Nick liked the song. He was like, just listen to it. It's about a guy who wants his woman back, and he's pushing her away, but as he's pushing her away, he's telling her to come close, and you know, he's just telling Jack about the song. So Jack is listening to the lyrics, and he was like, oh, okay. And he's like, this is a poem. This ain't no song. This is a poem. That's what Nick said. So it goes to the current day, and Randall's like, my dad said that this is a poem. He's like, if we ever said that this was a song, we would get in trouble. And Nick just started crying to himself because that made him realize that whatever he did to his brother carried on to his children. So although Jack didn't tell Nick about his kids, he still told them about him in a way to where they didn't know. So that carried on. So I told y'all to put a pin in Rebecca. We're going back to Rebecca. So Rebecca is having this episode, and then the police come and get her, and they looking at her license. So she lives in Los Angeles, but you know, right now she's back. I can't remember where they're from, but wherever they're from, she's back with her kids. And they're like, she's like, oh yeah, I'm just here to visit. So the police is like, okay, so we're gonna drop you off with your family. So they take her to the cottage, and Kevin opens the door with what's her name? Not Beth. What is the girl's name? With Kate. Kate and Kevin open up the door at the cabin, and the police was like, here you go. They made them sign the paper, and then they was like, Mom, you know, we missed you. She's like, you know, I was trying to go get something. I don't remember what she said she was trying to go get. But yeah, she was like, I was trying to go get something for y'all to celebrate. So they sat her down on the couch, and then Kate was like, well, how's she doing? He was like, she's okay, she's sleeping, blah, blah. But she asked Kevin, she was like, is Randall coming? Because it was their birthday. Confused me. I was so confused. I was like, what is going on? But basically, the show ended with the future. So in the future, her mind is gone, and she asks for Randall, and Kevin tells her, he's like, you know, me and Randall don't get along, and he walks off. And that's their 40th birthday. So Kevin, during the 40th birthday, Kevin's fiance is in a room sleep, and she's pregnant, and she's having sicknesses. But he told Randall at the end of the episode that by the time he's 40, he wants a wife and a kid. That's what he told Randall. So then it goes back to the present day, and Rebecca's at the door, and she has the food at the bakery. She has the bakery, the stuff she got from the bakery. So Randall's like, Mom, I've been calling your phone, I've been texting you, you ain't been answering, you know, you scared me. And she's like, I'm sorry, baby, I done turned my phone off. I wanted to go see a movie, and I turned my phone off. So Randall's like, okay. So they go into the kitchen, and she basically tells Randall, she was like, I got into the movie theater, and she's like, I watched the previews of Cats, and I sat down and I forgot what movie I even went to go see. So that's how it ends. That was the finale. I then took 19 minutes and 27 seconds telling y'all that, but I am very thorough when I tell reviews because I want you to get it all. So either you can go back and watch it yourself, or we can connect and like talk. So leave a comment below and let me know how you felt about this episode, because I'm telling you, that scene with Deja crying about her mama, Lord knows I was over her in tears. I'm patting my baby. Oh my God, Deja, it's okay, baby. She had to get herself together for herself, not for you. Don't blame yourself. So thank you for tuning into my channel, and when it returns, I just may do the rest of it. I don't know yet. We will see. Like I said, mama of 5. Let's go.